A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight with me, Wadulo Mark Arnold and Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin this time, so do stay put. And let's give you the headlines before we dive in. In our UBC News Tonight, top stories: the Premier Nabanja mobilizes the public for Agricultural Expo 2023. Arrow Boys veterans, former cattle rustlers, highly anticipate General MK's visit. Youth advised to embrace green jobs during their International Day. And schools told to reduce on trips frequency due to straining parents' finances. All these in our news tonight. Once again, thank you for joining us. We'll now give you the news in detail. To start off, leaders in the Central District of Kasanda have appealed to the government to extend land fund services to the district to address the increasing land evictions there. The leaders, who included members of parliament, LC5 chairman, district councillors, LC3 chairpersons and NRM leaders, voiced their concerns while meeting the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja at the Kasanda district headquarters. The Prime Minister was concluding her mobilization of leaders to embrace the government's plan of increasing production, productivity and profitability in the agricultural sector by being coordinated by the Prime Minister's delivery unit.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has met with the political leaders and technical officers from Mubende, Mityana, Chankwanzi and Chiboga district. Her most recent meeting took place at Kasanda district headquarters, in which she facilitated the wealth creation campaigns.
Policy proposals are the following. 1. Production, multiplication, distribution and certification of seeds and stocking materials. Disease control, agricultural mechanization and irrigation, farmer education and mobilization, partnership with big landowners, and interventions in the fisheries subsector.
The Ministry of Agriculture, together with the line ministries and agencies, will be at the forefront of this agricultural development campaign. The campaign is scheduled to start next week in Mityana, Kasanda, Chiboga, Chankwanzi and Mubende district.
N'obutategeera bukulu bwaki ekikifu kintu kikulu nnyo ky'ebyobula engandema Bank of Uganda, NARO, NAGRIC, URA, URA, yonna NFA, ministries zirabo muzimanya eya ejja kubaawo eya agriculture ejja kubaawo nga obutumanyi tubeera gavumenti. All those relevant ministries in the year, including Minister of Lands.
Right on Prime Minister Maniti Kuruno was the Konkola Yakulaba Balimi, we won't get a call, no call a value addition. The no Mulimu Wangi, I take Quaker Zenga when we let say, I live in Wani Katano, at Waniama Party Deco. Ye is this district was a Miyamako irrigation Katono. Sababu n'obuzo okulambula madama aladisa mutwala emirizi olabe kwali kyambadde.
Tusiimye nnyo ku puroguramu etandise ku luguudo lwaffe Nyanzi Kasanda okuya Kiboga. Neza kukusaba ngenda mwakikola eri nti bwe tubeera wano e Kasanda tulina Kasanda Kalamba kola kyongate ku kolasi ate ne Kalamba Maddu.
The agricultural campaign dubbed Agri Expo 2023 will include interaction with financial institutions and other service providers. This will also include health camps.
kyamukwata dda musajja kimuliko kimufekenya tayinzaga olusi bagenda mukiritu bamusala sente tazirina waliwo oli ng'alina kansa naye nga talina kyakoze ki waliwo oli ng'alina pressure diabetes nga tamanyi tewalina n'okubiri atambula nabyo so bwe twatuula negamba lenda okugenda ekasanda netutatwaliramu bantu tuba tukoze ensobi y'amaanyi ati so tugenda okuleetawo ku kibata outreach wakiiso kya musawo tugenda kukola hezeka banamanyi baagala okuvaayo ndakawula kikola tugenda kukola okubuuza.
The theme of this agricultural campaign is agricultural mobilization, education, value addition, and monitoring campaign.
The Presidential Amnesty Initiative, which extends clemency to all armed Karuchunas in exchange for surrendering their weapons, has produced positive outcomes since its inception in May. Notably, in Kotido, renowned Jai warrior commanders have chosen to voluntarily relinquish their firearms, as these details share with us.
Leading security figures in the Karamoja region under the guidance of 3rd Division Commander Major General Don Williams Nabasa, his deputy Brigadier General Felix Busizori, and Police Anti-Stock Theft Unit Senior Commissioner of Police Elias Kasirabo have offered assurance of protection to the reformed Karakunas. Furthermore, they have emphasized the importance of providing an education for their children. During a gathering in Losilang, the Northern Division of Kotido District, convened with the reformed commanders of GA warriors. Notable attendees included district security and political figures along with widows. The meeting commenced with prayers for the local leaders and peace advocates who fell victim to suspected attacks by GA warriors. Similar to their counterparts in Kabong district, the GA community in Kotido has embraced peace. Notably, 3 infamous GA warriors, including a UPDF deserter, have voluntarily surrendered their firearms to the security forces.
And the 3 guns, one is for UPDF.
As in Dodoth and Karakunas of GA also expressed their desire for swift alternative livelihood options from the government. Paul Komol Lote, chairperson of Kotido LC5, along with the Karakanas, expressed gratitude to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for instituting the amnesty window, anticipating a pacification of the region.
Then given by the president is helping us, the leaders, together with the UPDF, to entice the Karachuna that when you surrender your gun, you will not be arrested. Once you surrender your gun, you will not be arrested, you will not be even killed. The best is surrender the gun and you'll be forgiven.
Major General Don Nabasa of the 3rd Division handed over voluntary disarmament cards to the reformed warriors. Yet their concerns persist regarding the presence of armed Turkana pastorists who cross into Uganda for grazing and subsistence.
We are adjusting on our deployments to cater for the warriors who would come from our neighborhood to destabilize Kabong since
Kotido is home to a significant number of young widows aged between 15 and 30 years who are compelled to marry their husbands' relatives to fulfill the dowry initially paid to the family.
Your wish, if you refuse, you will be caned by the parents and they will force you and say, we have eaten the cows of the other man. Where shall we get it to pay it back? Better be in that family, even if you don't want that man, just produce the children.
Nabasa called upon the warriors to peacefully surrender their firearms, assuring them that security forces will safeguard their protection.
This is the assurance by the Karachana that no more problems.
Police and Stock Theft Unit Commandant, a Senior Commissioner of Police Elias Kasirabo, meanwhile underscored the significance of educating GA youth.
If you don't take children, you know the future is not bright. You are recruiting future criminals if you don't make sure that children go to school.
Since President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's announcement of amnesty for all armed Karakanas in Karamoja, aiming to voluntarily surrender their illegal firearms, over 80 guns have been voluntarily collected in Kabong and Kotido since May this year. I'm Navka Farida and Maureen Eager.
72-year-old widow Sarah Nabanja, who was married to the late Haji Abdu Amala in Nateete factory zone, is appealing for government intervention in a land dispute with her children. They are attempting to remove her from her late husband's property. Now, this conflict, which has been ongoing for several years, is led by one of her children, Muhammad Muladje.
An elderly lady, Sarah Nabanja, is about to lose her marital land unless stakeholders come to her rescue. The dispute on the land came after a group, allegedly headed by Muhammad Mulaje, attempted to evict her from her residence in Nateete.
Omusika tayagala ninye wanera siri nyawo. N'abaana bange bonna ate n'ababi bazaalibwa n'ennyawo. Kubanga ababuula baabamu baana bannyina baayawukana. Nze ndi mukyalo kubanga ne mukyalo yajja n'antyokoza owulidde taata.
However, local leaders intervened and prevented her from being evicted. Despite being one of the 25 children, Sarah Nabanja's offspring, led by Hasifa Namulindwa and 3 others, have unlawfully taken possession of their father's assets through intimidation and threats.
Nankwata nanyigira ku kikumuti okwo nanyiga nankwata nankasuka n'engweri nangamba toddangamu okulinnya wano era okuva olwo siddangamu kulinnya wano.
Yakwata eddaame najjamu abaana abamu buli amwogerako gwajjamu nti oyo si wa waka. Olaba addira abalongo ababiri n'akyusa n'agamba nti ono omulongo omusi wa Haji. Tetugabananga buli mwana ajja wano gwakuba teyeetaaga kulaba omwana n'ogu n'omu.
Nabadde nzize Kampala okunjijanjaba nenjagala ng'endeko mu maka gange nangobera ebweru.
The intervention of Nateete police, led by DPC Hassan Sekalema, managed to calm the situation between the children and the widow, Sarah Nabanja. In light of these events, Sarah Nabanja is now seeking government assistance to resolve this dispute.
Njagala ekintu kiri kimu. Ku baana bange bonna abiri mu abasatu batundewo abaana bonna bagabane wadde si wange wadde wange bagabane n'omusika n'oyo akayana naye bamuwe.
Naffe twagalako obwenkanya. Omusika yefunzaawo ye waali ne banna abatono bayagala. Banaye twagala bwenkanya mutuyambe. Bw'okyamaano tebaagala oyingire mu nnyumba. Ennyumba we twayavulira we twakulira we twasomera.
Efforts to contact Muhammad Mulaje were unsuccessful.
Obwannannyini musika kuba kirama musika yamuwa ekibanja n'ennyumba yamu. Namwandu abenga agira ki amukuumiramu namwandu kwe kufa.
Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
Over 40 judicial officials, including justice, judges, registrars and support staff, have retired from the judiciary after clocking their retirement age. Now, this was at a function held at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala, graced by the Deputy Chief Justice, Richard Butera. He applauded them for their service they have rendered to the judiciary and the country during their tenure. The retired officials, however, called for cooperation from judiciary whenever need arises.
The retired judicial officials include 5 judges of High Court, 1 Supreme Court Justice, 8 deputy registrars and magistrates, and over 30 support staff. Among those was Justice Ezekiel Muhanguzi, Judge Asafo Ruhinda, who was the head of Industrial Court, Lady Justice Jane Chigundu, Tony Vincent Okwang, and Justice Joseph Mulangira, among others. The group served the judiciary and the country for 20 years and were given presents and certificates as a sign of appreciation for their services in the justice system. While gracing the function, the Deputy Chief Justice Richard Ibutera appreciated them for that tremendous job towards serving the country and the judiciary in their tenure, although they were faced with some challenges.
But we have heard a lot of stories here. There is a lot that has been done by everybody. So it is these occasions that remind us where we have come from. So situations improve. Let's be happy of where we are and what has been achieved by everybody.
Butera, however, urged them to continue working in the justice system by embracing mediation, alternative dispute resolution programs, since such sectors require such experts and experienced people.
And then what you started doing will be concluded very well. So the judiciary is a beneficiary of your input, and we shall ever be grateful.
The function was also graced by the principal judge, Dr. Flavian Nzeija.
We do a job where when you take a decision, one party curses you, another one praises you. But sometimes even those who you have decided in the favor of also curse you for not giving them what they wanted. So it's a job which is ingracious. But I wish to thank you once again, and I thank you for coming with your families so that they can come and some of you who came with your families to come and share into your joy of service.
Justice Asafo Ruhinda and Lady Justice Jane Chigundu applauded the judiciary for allowing them to serve the country. However, they had a piece of advice to the still serving judicial officials.
Those who have seen the difference in my life are the ones supposed to celebrate it for what I have done for them. And therefore, I'm not of the view that I celebrate myself. I'm the view that others celebrate me. And therefore, I thank very much the judiciary for celebrating us, for knowing that we made a difference while we were in the judiciary.
I am confident in the resilience of this system and in the abilities of those who will continue to uphold its values. For now, I'm privileged to face a new beginning, a new life, and a new team. It can be a difficult transition, but growth never happens without a few pains.
On the behalf of the support staff, Lawrence Opolot Okim asked the judiciary to consider them on getting insurance cover, as it was during their service.
When we were still in service, they insured us on health insurance. But immediately we retired, the funds were closed off. That it was due to our patience, dedication, hard work, and love for our work that we walked out smart as loyal servants.
The retirement age of High Court judges is at 65, while Supreme Court justices retire at the age of 70 years. However, the Chief Justice Alfonso Munyidolo has on several occasions appealed to the government to increase on the retirement age. Deborah Namamonde, Suzanne Nabogode, UBC News.
Now, in a world where environmental challenges demand innovative solutions, empowering young minds and harnessing their potential to shape a harmonious future is essential. Now, this can be achieved by equipping them with technical knowledge and abilities that span various domains, from sustainable agribusiness to renewable energy. In Uganda, many youth are actively involved in hands-on activities like growing flowers and nurturing tree seedlings. Let's have a look.
Global environmental degradation is a substantial challenge. According to the UN International Strategy for Disaster Reduction, it signifies the Earth's declining capacity to fulfill its natural environmental objectives. The concept includes various problems like deforestation, soil erosion, pollution, and climate change. These issues are interconnected and often amplify each other, which call for a green transition towards an ecologically sustainable and climate-friendly creation. This will involve equipping youth with technical knowledge and skills similar to individuals like Tony Ochieng in Lira City. Tony is involved in a nursery bed project.
It's timber, flowers and herbs and mostly fruit seedlings. That is what I do majorly. Then there are services like compound designs where you give me your area, I design with flowers, ornamental plants and majorly like most of these concretes and the plastics.
Under his trade name, Tony Poya, literally meaning Tony made it possible, started a tree and flower seedling business in 2020, leaving his profession.
I left school in 2017. Then I went in for employment. I did diploma in electrical. I was doing some things with air conditioning, CCTV camera, but then I worked for 2 years and I felt like I needed to be self-employed.
His business has since progressed, met its challenges of having few customers.
We always harvest 2 seasons in a year. The first rain begins from March up to May, then the second one from August up to November. So when you compare them all, it's due to weather, it's average of 5 million. The year, that is the total revenue.
Isaac Makwa from the Elgon region has embarked on a venture similar to Tony's. Just as Tony realized the value in every job, Isaac discovered the significance of his undertaking in flower and tree seedling projects.
In the rainy season, you get some good customers. So the more you get customers, the more you get something to put in your pocket. And besides me, we have also others that we employ because I'm not the only one here.
Makwa faces the difficulty of managing the seedlings during the dry season, where lack of water taps poses a significant challenge.
I have not planted them down, that they will get water, the roots will go down and get water that is down in the soil, no. So it gives us a hard time to water them, but as you understand, we do our best. We have a tap there because it's a tap.
As seasons change, posing threats to the environment, planting drought-resistant trees like bamboo can play a crucial role in maintaining stability, particularly in mountainous areas.
It's very good. It holds the soil. Like other trees, as I told you, like eucalyptus tree. Eucalyptus tree one, it helps to hold the soil. Like now, if the soil is having too much water, it will what? Uptake it.
Besides restoring the environment, certain flowers also serve as repellents for snakes, mosquitoes, and other insects. The government has encouraged youth to participate in green skilling projects. As a result, numerous tree nurseries have flourished along the roadsides in Kampala. Many of these nurseries sell potted plants for homes and offices. Dr. Godwin Anywar of Makerere University advises that while there is a huge demand, many of these plant species are poisonous and harmful to children and domestic animals.
Should try and strike a balance. We should not just look at trees or plants which look beautiful, which are appealing to the eye, but I want to encourage people to look at or to grow plants from which they can get both medicine and food. And there are a variety of plant species which can give us both food and medicine.
Individuals involved in roadside businesses are not industry professionals, and therefore people are advised to conduct thorough research before purchasing these plants.
And some of them are so bad that if you come into contact with them, if sap, for example, came on your skin from some of these plants, it can cause severe itching, it can cause a burning sensation. Some of them can cause blindness if that sap dropped in your eyes. And their goal is to have beautiful looking plants which are going to appeal to you, and you will go and buy them, okay? So I think there should be a deliberate effort to professionalize the nurseries.
The International Youth Day on the theme, Green Skills for Youth Towards a Sustainable World, arrives at a time when many youth face job challenges. William Lubulwa of NEMA welcomes the theme as it aligns with their mandate of regreening the environment.
Because whenever we go as an institution, we want to plant trees with the communities. And some of these tree seedlings, we purchase them from these young men and women on the roadsides. So I think it's a very positive development.
NEMA also ensures that while youth deal in seedling, they do not negatively affect the ecosystem, considering that many of these operate near swampy areas. From urban gardens that breathe life into concrete landscapes to community nurseries that give birth to thriving forests, these young minds are orchestrating a symphony of growth. Thorough environmental education empowers people to connect more deeply with their surroundings and equips them with expertise to address pressing environmental issues. Mtonyi Hilda, UBC.
These young minds are orchestrating a symphony of growth, quite a quotable right there. And of course, this is a climate change initiative because awareness is key in a time like this. Now, civil society organizations championed by Food Rights Alliance want government to come up with sustainable interventions directed at uplifting livelihoods of the youth, especially through green skilling. This was during the commemoration of the International Day of the Youth held under the theme Green Skills for Youth Towards a Sustainable World. Details in this report.
It is estimated that half of the world's population is 30 years and below, and this figure is expected to reach 57% by the year 2030. To fully utilize this young energetic blood, experts advise to equip them in green skills as they contribute to the ecological transition over a longer period of time.
People to work with their community development officers in the districts, to work with their district leadership to ensure that they tap into these green jobs programs. But also we encourage the government to cascade these green jobs to the local ground, because as some of us have been getting concern from young people that these jobs are centralized.
During the commemoration of the International Day of the Youth, civil society organizations want government and other stakeholders to address patent issues affecting youth, like unemployment and access to land.
With over 1 million youths released annually into the job market, the country requires to create about 600,000 jobs per year to optimize the demographic dividend.
Young people's access to control over land and the governance of land has faced significant challenges. Discriminatory cultural norms and practices limit their rights and influence, hindering their participation in land governance processes.
To see that at least there must be some interventions in terms of capacity building, providing credit facilities which are youth friendly, and we also want to see that at least there are lots of training that will be happy to support the young people to advance in the next to advance their operations.
It is anticipated that if the youth are equipped with green skills, it will not only preserve the ecosystem, but also lessen the number of youth who flood Middle East countries searching for employment.
The youth in Uganda today are opting for non-agricultural careers in urban areas and overseas. According to the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, the Middle East is experiencing an influx of Ugandans looking for domestic jobs. Youth involvement in agriculture can promote the adoption of eco-friendly practices, contributing to soil health, water conservation, and biodiversity preservation.
Government has also been asked to reintroduce the common user facilities for internet at sub-county level to enable youth tap into the technological job market.
In the old days, there were public libraries. So the young people can ask for these common internet hubs in the local governments, such that once in a while, the young people can go there within a specified time and use these facilities. because I don't know when government is going to develop the internet infrastructure across the country. I don't know when that one is going to happen.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Religious leaders in Namugongo are expressing concern over the increasing instances of anti-religious acts in the area, which hold global significance due to the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for their faith. Representing Namugongo Parish, Reverend Father Anthony addressed this matter during an event at Parks Junior School in Chira Municipality.
Namugongo is a historical place in Uganda renowned globally for the Catholic and Protestant martyrs who were killed for their religious beliefs. However, despite the historical significance, the clergy are not happy by the rising prevalence of anti-religious behaviors among the believers within this region.
It is very easy for Christians, particularly Catholics, to say we have faith, but our faith is halfway. We believe God up to a point because we see God as a magician. I want a car, you go to pray to God and God gives you a car. I want a house, you go to pray to God and God gives you a house. It does not work that way in the realm of spirituality. If that is the way you see God, you are in the wrong place.
Reverend Father Anthony from Namugongo Parish encouraged the faithful to remain steadfast in their devotion to God in order to honor the memory of the martyrs and contribute positively to the nation as a whole. Father Anthony delivered his message at Park School, located in Kira Municipality, where more than 200 children recently completed their studies. The Mass was attended by the Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo. A 3-story building costing over 800 million shillings was inaugurated at the school.
The government I work for, the government where I belong, has a number of programs. But one of them is taking all our children of school-going age to school. I've only words to thank those, whoever is taking the trouble to have our children taken to school, kept there, and enabled to complete the cycle. That's the best friend of the NRM government. That's the great support you can give to this country by taking our children to school.
Muyingo commended private schools for their support to the government in the field of education. He urged them to uphold high standards of quality while ensuring effective educational practices are in place. I'm Nafka Farida and Salongo Kasipante.
Government through the Ministry of Education and Sports has recruited and trained 52 people to support head teachers be able to provide information of their schools in the Education Management Information System portal, while flagging off the support officers at Shimoni Core Primary Teachers Training College in Chira. The Commissioner in charge of Statistics, Monitoring and Evaluation in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Sozi Vincent, said that the principal providers of information are not knowledgeable in ICT, and some schools lack the equipment they can use to upload information. Therefore, this training is vital.
Government, through Ministry of Education and Sports, embarked on having every learner registered through a new system, the Education Information Management System, to acquire a learner identification number a year ago. At least 11.5 million learners have been uploaded. Information in the system also indicates that 7.8 million learners are currently in school, while 3.7 million are in the system as not being in class. The system indicates that 39,456 institutions have uploaded data out of the 45,945 that have created accounts on EMIS, which has prompted Ministry of Education and Sports to recruit 52 support officers to help school head teachers be able to provide information.
Our schools don't have facilities, and we've been giving them deadlines. So we believe that when these officers go out there, they will do a good job to support these schools. And of course, we'll be seeing their performance on the system. We'll be giving them targets for schools to cover and variables, because on the system I don't know.
These support officers have been trained in different functionalities of the system, focusing on particulars, ownership, status, location and details of the school.
Looked at how a learner is uploaded on the system, all right, for the different classes and categories. Now, we looked at functionalities to do with the promotion of a learner. How do you promote a learner? Okay, if a learner has repeated, what do you do? If a learner is moving from one level of education to the other, what do you do? That is a transition.
The Education Information Management System is, however, work in progress, not an off-shelf system, but developed from scratch, so some minimal errors are expected.
The modules that we rolled out, that is the broader module for basic statistics. That one is perfect. It has gone through the tests, and we have minimal errors. And we also have now other modules that are coming on board. For example, licensing and the registration module. We are going to roll it out. But in the process of rollout, yes, we have tested, but you may find a few errors that crop up.
Government is procuring laptops to help the support officers in their work, and also motorcycles for easy transport. Each officer is going to be given a cluster of about 3 local governments, and they will be working with the district education officers to ensure proper rollout of the EMIS project. I'm Navka Farida and Abdul Nasil Wama in Kira.
The International University of East Africa has finally been given the university charter to operate as a recognized awarding institution of higher learning, according to the Assistant Commissioner in charge of private schools and institutions, George Mutekanga. IUEA is one of the starting institutions that are performing well in science and innovation, as these details share with us.
The International University of East Africa has been given a charter established in 2010 in Uganda as a private institution of higher learning, awarding degrees and other qualifications. The university is now on the table of elders. The university has been progressing over the time, as well as advancing to a science and innovation center of excellence. The university has officially received a charter after approval by the National Council of Higher Learning.
All along we have been operating but not fully chartered. We are operating on merit.
According to the Assistant Commissioner in charge of private schools and institutions, George Mutekanga, the university has performed well, especially in science and innovation, and therefore deserved the charter.
Meaning that we need to attract more children to come to the university. It's an international university of East Africa, the university of its kind. I know it promotes engineering, promotes agriculture, in a special way I love for agriculture.
He pledged government support to the institution, but also tasked the institution to roll out its structures to other regions and also maintain their grading.
I appreciate the challenges that you have gone through, but challenges make you hardened. You are combat hardened. I know we have so many programs for this university, and I'm proud for you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. I want to inform you.
The Vice Chancellor, Professor Emyooga, says the institution undertook the necessary steps through a cumbersome process to acquire the charter.
It is rigorous because they look at the governance structure of a university. They look at the finances of the university. They look at the quality of staff of the university. They look at the physical infrastructure of the university.
He applauded his predecessors for the foundation that saw the university stand the test of time and promised to work towards enhancing their performance, especially in science and innovation.
As you know, we are known as the technological university of choice in Africa. not because we say so, but because of the quality of innovations that come out of the university. We have the electric motorcycle initiative, which addresses climate change and clean energy.
Students were excited over the new status acquired by the university.
It elevates our education and the value it has out there in the market.
The celebrations over the charter approval were held at the university campus in Kampala. According to Section 103, subsection A of the Universities and Tertiary Institutions Act, a charter means that the private university has met all requirements and is now comparable to the public universities.
The Executive Director, National Children's Authority, Martin Chiza, has advised school children to concentrate on their studies and avoid all nature of sexual behavior. Chiza was visiting schools in Wakiso, Kabale, Soroti and Bali to find out what students are going through and highlighted the importance of HIV/AIDS awareness among the students.
A number of students, especially girls, face countless difficulties during their studies. The National Children's Authority has been visiting schools in Wachisa and Mukono to address students on the importance of education. The Executive Director, National Children's Authority, Martin Chiza, advised the students, mainly the girl child, to avoid sexual relations, but rather concentrate on their studies with minimum interference.
Senior 4, one, you are risking. You will impregnate the girl, the parents will come in. You are already, it becomes a police case. Hey. That would mean that your school would go.
The National Children's Authority is concerned about the increasing cases of HIV, especially among the girl child, and says there should be a special awareness channel created among students.
Ask him, would he marry you at that point? No. And you want to have Bongolo Rubuto Jakumpas? Girls, Wakugambandi, yes,
the National Children's Authority is concerned about the increasing cases of HIV, especially among the girl child, and says there should be a special awareness channel created among students.
Some of you have boyfriends and girlfriends. The question is, do you have boyfriends and girlfriends?
No. We have. We have. Boyfriends and...
You should avoid those things, okay? Abstain from sex, it's not for you. Time will come and you will enjoy, not so. Yes. HIV is also still there and it still kills.
You can even get infection. But why do you go for such a risk if you think you can again contract HIV?
All this is taking place as schools across the country prepare to close for the second term holidays.
Quite a candid conversation right there with the students. The Forum for Democratic Change Party members in Bushenyi and Shema district have weighed in on the current situation that is threatening to diminish the ideological foundation that the party is based on. They call for an expedite delegates conference to steer the party forward ahead of the upcoming 2026 general elections, whose roadmap has already been drawn.
So we are here to put our position very clear amidst all the skirmishes that are within our party. For us, we are saying that whatever is going inside this party, the fights, the quarrels, the struggle that are within, we are taking a position that we are not ready to support a system that is not democratic, and yet by its name, Forum for Democratic Change, it's a party that promises democracy into the greater part of the scale, the country. And we shall not be democratic in Uganda when we ourselves within the party are not democratic.
The storm will wither. We give you hope. We are striving to our level best to resolve all these things amicably. but we're sending a big warning that whoever organizes a sham election behind our authority, he pay for it. We are very serious on this. No elections in Busheng until all these pertaining issues are resolved amicably. And we are calling on our leaders at the top, mostly Nandara Mafava and his brother, please, enough is enough. We can never and will never sacrifice the future of this country because of your greed.
We are taking our petition to our chairman Virgwa to call our special delegates conference, a national special delegates conference, which will have to organize a better elections from the grassroots for the delegates so that they can have a better elections, and then we choose our leaders. We don't want these sham elections which Nanda is organizing. Ghana! Let's go away!
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
The land take for development of Tilenga, Kingfisher, and East Africa crude oil pipeline projects in Uganda is approximately 6,900 acres, with close to 10,000 project-affected persons. The compensation process involves an inclusive and participatory resettlement action plan study that provides for cash payment, physical resettlement, and livelihood improvement packages for the affected persons. 90% of all the project-affected persons have been fully compensated. 200 replacement houses have been constructed and handed over.
Agnes Mfanazo. Aberu maot, aberu kabesendra wanyaru lum, agera ot, lum top, onede podu pio, ejuga majigera ot ma eni matinani iye, maleng, adonga chopo poringo kumachia, sente dano wangu moko ola nyeo kodole moko machalo dielde, moka konyo kodawia school nyekwa ya gebeteka somode.
Communities are also engaged in vocational skills, agriculture, financial literacy programs, employment, and contracting opportunities to improve their livelihoods and grow community content. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to Windy to see the gorillas. Then we watched the Cup final in London.
Oh.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The biggest, the baddest East African Christian Marathon is here. Come participate at the East African Christian Marathon for a prayer run on the 13th of August 2023 at the Lugogo Hockey Grounds. Come represent your family at the prayer run and run for a good cause to build the first call center, which will be East Africa's virtual listener. Come for the the prayer run alongside your pastors, leaders, representatives from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and of course Uganda. Participate with Honorable Captain Mike Mukula, who is the chief runner and patron. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Make your donation for your kid now from 20,000, 30,000 and 100,000 Uganda shillings, because runs change the world. For more details, call 0781 885 055 or visit our website at www.eastafricachristianmarathon.org. Proudly sponsored by PKF, UPC, Venro Health, Aquafina, and Moving Preacher.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates back to ground. Sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. It's now time for business. Now, to start off, the impact of the Emyooga funds in Kasese district is remarkable as it continues to uplift lives and increase household incomes, particularly among women and those with disabilities. During an enlightening exchange visit organized by the Microfinance Support Center, Emyooga leaders from Teso sub-region acknowledged the successful practices in Kasese. They are eager to adopt these lessons to enhance Emyooga Sacco enterprises in their own region. John Stephen Ekum, the resident district commissioner of Ngora, emphasized that the Emyooga Revival Fund stands as a prime option for community economic empowerment. Details in this report.
A 39-year-old woman living with disabilities, Alice Muhindo, has astounded Emyooga leaders from Teso sub-region with her inspiring story. With an initial investment of 300,000 shillings from Kasese Municipality's Persons with Disabilities Emyooga Sacco, Alice has transformed her life. Residing in Kasanga Parish, Nyamwamba Division, she leveraged Emyooga funds to add value to local raw materials, producing high-quality handcrafts.
So after receiving that money, I bought 5 rolls. I started making these carry-ons, and this business of mine helped me to educate my children, and paying house rent, and buying books for my children, and paying school fees, and other things.
Chairing the Kasese Municipality Persons with Disabilities Emyooga Sacco, Rosette Mande highlighted how the 30 million shillings seed fund disbursed by the Microfinance Support Center has transitioned individuals living with disabilities from begging to invest in sustainable small-scale enterprises through accessible loans.
We are managed even to get the basic needs, like constructing little small shelters depending on the level we have, even paying school fees for our children. At least some, even now we have running businesses.
The visiting Emyooga leaders from Teso sub-region were impressed by Kasese's approach to raising awareness about Emyooga Saccos, promoting profitable ventures for beneficiaries.
I gather a lot to go and pass to my people so that we could change from where we are, then we start getting our right hand income.
But the only thing is we're also going to strengthen and scale up with the activities that we do in that region.
And yes, whatever we have seen here, we are ready to go and implement it. The progress of the program uplifts the grassroots people.
Ngora's resident district commissioner Fred Stephen Ekom commended the Microfinance Support Center for effective execution of the program. He anticipates that these best practices will be instrumental in addressing Emyooga Sacco challenges in the Teso sub-region.
So I want to caution the Sacco leaders that as government, we are not going to tolerate people who want issues of corruption. We shall deal with you because what we want to see our people to be supported socio-economically.
Bokonzo West Women Entrepreneurs Emyooga Circle is making sustainable strides in empowering women to enhance household incomes. The circle focuses on value addition through ventures such as soap production and crafting local saucepans from scrap materials.
Emyooga has lifted our circle to a certain level. The women were at the lower level. They have managed to increase their input in their homes.
We no longer ask for salt in our homes because we can come out and also do something in our homes.
Kasese Municipality's restaurant owners Emyooga Circle, backed by a 50 million shillings seed capital, is not only providing delicious meals but also catering services and training. This holistic approach contributes to both economic growth and skill enhancement.
By the money we got, it has helped us. People who had no capital, they have capital. People who were in these institutions which they pay much interest, at least these days we pay less interest. Emyooga money, seed capital, it has helped us and we are now very far.
Emyooga is a government initiative overseen by Microfinance Support Center, driving positive change and empowerment by fostering community-owned circles. These initiatives are paving the way for a brighter and more prosperous future, where economic growth is truly inclusive and sustainable. Mary Namkose, Robert Boita, UBC News.
In the quest to improve housing conditions for public servants, Access Financial Services have spread its wings to Jinja City. While opening the branch, Edgar Bampata, the head of sales, said that they are focused on extending affordable microcredit to qualifying Ugandans in the public sector to improve their livelihood. Details in this report.
Gathering enough funds for putting up decent accommodation by many civil servants is an uphill task, given the many competing household demands. It's on this backdrop that Access Financial Services, a microfinance institution, is spreading its wings to more districts across the country.
We conducted a research and we discovered that there was a gap in terms of public servants accessing credit. Access Financial Services identified the homestead as the key factor to the as the foundation to the other development needs. That's the reason we decided to enable the public servant first acquire a homestead, first develop themselves on that front, and then they will be able to access any other need they want, but with a stable living environment.
Uganda's financial industry has been on the spotlight due to the lengthy processes and bureaucratic tendencies for acquiring loans. Making life easier for public servants is a top priority for Access Financial Services, whose loan approval and disbursement for up to Uganda shillings 30 million takes a maximum of 48 hours.
The civil servant has always been on the lower side when it comes to accessing financial services. The processes have always been quite big. One would ask you for quite a number of tools that you actually may not have. And in Access, what makes a difference is because we have listed a few of the items that we feel do count for a customer to be able to access service. For example, if one is on a payroll, why would one probably ask for another collateral as one of the requirements to access services?
Microfinance institutions continue to play a transformative role in boosting incomes across all fronts. With 12 physical branches spread across the country, the financial institution is buoyant about its long-term benefits to the underserved communities.
And much as we serve the public servants, we do focus on improving livelihoods. Our agenda goes towards improving homesteads, enabling public servants to put up shelter, enabling public servants to put up homes, and all the needs that come with that part of the development need.
Tier 4 institutions remain a safe haven that promotes financial inclusion in the economy and aids in social and economic transformation. Crispus Arenaitwe, Dennis Sigoa, UBC News.
The head of enforcement at the National Drugs Authority, Chomukama Samuel, has said that 86 unlicensed drug outlets operating without qualified staff have been shut down, seizing 178 boxes of medicines worth 44.5 million shillings. The announcement came during a press conference at Naiga Hotel in Kasana Town, Luwero District, marking the end of a 5-day compliance operation in Greater Luwero District of Luwero, Nakaseke and Nakasongola.
A senior official of the National Drug Authority, Chomukama Samuel, has stressed the importance of purchasing human and animal medicines and health care products solely from licensed and registered outlets for safety.
The public always buy drugs from unlicensed pharmacies and drug shops. Remain vigilant and report anyone suspected to be involved in drug crimes on our toll-free line 0800 101 999. I repeat, 0800 101 999, or our WhatsApp number 074 0002 070.
The Chief Regional Inspector at National Drug Authority, James Tamale, highlighted the enforcement's purpose of ensuring safe drugs handling across the sector. He also outlined the process of reclaiming impounded drugs.
When you're regularizing, that's when all these other regulations come into play. So the question would be, were you licensed before? If it is yes, then go ahead and renew your license. There are, procedures and requirements you follow. Upon successful licensure, you then apply to get your medicines returned to you. So these medicines are then returned. That is upon receiving the what? The license. The medicines have, I'll call it like a two-faceted fate, where medicines cannot be returned to you, especially if you are purely illegal. We destroy those medicines. Okay? We do not donate them, we do not sell them, we destroy them and ensure we have a record of destruction. Okay? 2, if we impound medicines from an outlet that still has a window of being able to regularize, there's still a time period within which you have to do that.
An Assistant District Health Officer of Luwero District, Dr. Joseph Chisache, shared plans to eliminate impersonators from the enforcement process. The National Drug Authority, empowered by law, conducts regular inspections of drug outlets and pharmacies nationwide to ensure Ugandans access safe drugs from qualified personnel at registered establishments. Mary Namkose, Vincent Wamondo, UBC News.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
Welcome back. It's now time for sports news. The 7th edition of the Youth Commonwealth Games concluded in Trinidad and Tobago, with Uganda putting up good performances in athletics and swimming. Jacob Sunday won the only medal for the Team Uganda in 1,500-meter men's final.
The 7th Commonwealth Youth Games took place on the islands of Trinidad and Tobago between the 4th to the 11th of August 2023. Over 1,000 athletes and para-athletes participated in 7 sports disciplines in the port of Spain. Team Uganda managed to collect a bronze medal at the Games in the athletics category as Jacob Sunday raced in the men's 1,500-meter final with a time of 3:39 minutes, finishing behind Kenyan duo Gospat Sang and Andrew Kipto.
Koich takes the bell.
His counterpart, Charity Sherop, tried her level best as she ran in the women's 1,500-meter final with a time of 4 minutes 20 seconds, only to finish in the 4th position, having held on to the 3rd place for the most parts of the race. Inside the Aquatic Center in Karoni, swimmer Karamoja Nateete, who was fresh from competing at the Aquatics World Championships in Japan a few weeks ago, managed to finish in the 5th position in the women's 50-meter freestyle final, clocking 26:21 seconds, despite a few challenges like difference in weather conditions.
I'm quite pleased with my performance, considering the different challenges we're facing out here in terms of heat and difference in organizational time.
While brothers Tendo and Pendo Kaumi impressed on their international debut, swimming personal best times in majority of their races, with the former breaking a national record in the 100-meter backstroke with a time of 1 minute flat. The Youth Commonwealth Games are an established pathway towards the Commonwealth Games. They traditionally take place every 4 years for Commonwealth member countries and provide an opportunity for teenagers to showcase their talent. Marsha Miro, BBC News.
And the 20th edition of the East Africa Secondary School Games is a few days away from taking place in Huye, Rwanda. On Saturday afternoon, the Federation of East Africa Secondary School Association conducted the games draw for the various sport disciplines as teams will aim to seek glory.
The East Africa Secondary School Games are back. This year, they will be hosted by Rwanda from the 17th to the 27th of August 2023. On Saturday, at the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association office headquarters in Old Kampala, the Federation of the East Africa Secondary School Sports Association conducted the team draw that will see secondary school teams compete in 18 sport disciplines.
We've come to the end of our bulletin. Thank you for being a part of it. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.